Hey there, fellow renovators, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, episode 94, Even Better Farms. So let's get these trees in the ground now. So, we are potentially moving the kitchen. So here we go. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think, just for my own sake, I'm going to put medium fertility soil directly under where I'm putting the trees. And I would like it on the same plane as the base, because I do intend to level out everything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's get rid of this dirt because it's in the way. So this is where the first trees are going to go. So what I'm doing is I'm spacing them out so that if they do take root and survive, there's space around them for me to build greenhouses if that's something we wish to do. But not to say that it is required for their survival. So it is February 2nd, and hopefully it's not going to get too much colder. Well, there's one. There's 2. And I'm going to need to do some terraforming and earth moving. In fact, I should probably keep the low fertility soil for terraforming purposes to replace water with soil so that we can keep, because you're right, there's like a body of water here, to keep the water from interfering with the trees. So it's going to be a process, but there's the first 2. So I went out how many tiles from the edge? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So here's another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I don't know what will survive, but with any luck, pears are some of the cold hardiest trees that you can plant. And if the pears don't survive the vernalization process, we can try for like apples or other fruits, other fruit trees that I find around the base as well. Or just dig up more pear trees. You know, that's also another option. Do we go at 9? Let's see. So here's the wall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Seems like 10. I ain't amazing at math, but I think I got it right. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is in a lake, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, no, 8. Yes. It's a little tree island. The other one's going to be a little weird. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, all right, let's we're gonna have a little project on our hands at some point. Because we got a bit of a puddle kind of in the way. But, you know, there's only a 40% chance that this tree survives, so I don't really need to fix it until the tree has fertilized, right? Yeah, save myself the effort. I can make it look right. And then if the tree does survive, then I can actually make it right. If that makes sense. Doesn't really matter if it's hollow. It's just, I'd rather it not be, just so that it's not a drifter spawning area, because it'd be annoying for underneath our tree farm, drifters are like grunting at us. That'd be a little weird. And all the soil all the soil I'll keep so that we can do more of the terraforming around the base. Use it as fill. So let's count this out again. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last tree's in. I hope there's enough space between them diagonally. I think there is. Again, it's also kind of unnecessary to have them in greenhouses, other than its vernalization temperature. Collected all the soil. And I am going to put really small fences around them. Just let you know it's not functionally necessary to do it, but just as an aesthetic thing. So the next project that you guys vote on is up to you. I'll put 5 minutes on the board, maybe a little bit longer. Where do I put cattails? Upstairs in the box? I don't think I have a specific cattail box. We still don't have the wind power for lanterns. If we ever do, I will embark upon that. We're only down 2 charcoals. I'll just add it now. We should be up to high 30s for the entire process. I was kind of curious if I could like peek snipe it from below, but no. 37. High 30s. So I have a bunch of wood fence gates. I have some fences. Cheers. You know, I just realized is all that soy I put away. I'm going to need some of it if I want fences down, because I don't really want to put fences on, you know, lake tile, as it would just melt. Be rather pointless. What would happen if I grow crops with a tree in the middle? That's fine. That wouldn't be much of an issue, I don't think. I think probably a lot of players incorporate to something like that. Oh, I don't have my axe on me. The only reason I think, well, there are some reasons why I wouldn't necessarily want to do it like that. Building a farm with a tree in the middle is that trees are a lot taller than crops. So it would work, but you would have a greenhouse, and then the center of the greenhouse would have to go 6 tiles up, or the entire greenhouse goes 6 tiles up to accommodate for how tall trees are. So it could look weird as a result of, depending on how you design it, or just be a lot more expensive material-wise. So that would be the my hesitation to set it up in that way. So next up, I'm fixing up the farms. Yeah, that's in exactly where I wanted to place that. And this out here is going to be like a little tree island, which might look cool. Especially if I, yeah, I mean, I could work on it to make it look cool. Without fail. All right, so we have our little tree boxes. Cool. Oh, I heard the Hellhammer. Wind power's not enough to warrant doing it yet. It needs to be slamming a bit better than that, but hopefully the wind picks up. If it does, I'll be stopping what I'm doing and making lanterns. One more maintenance task. I don't believe I'm going to need another run of charcoal for the steel. If my charcoal supply ever gets low, I could always make some rather quickly. So yeah, trees get 6 units tall. You could probably have a roof at 7. If you can picture a tree, you know, how it sort of goes up. You want space around the tree because the leaves of the tree are what bear fruit. So if you design your greenhouse around the tree, minimum size, you're not going to be able to get around the tree to actually pick the fruit if it's in a greenhouse. If it's not in a greenhouse, you could set up like ladders or nerd poles or something like that. But my point being, when you're designing your greenhouses, keep in mind that like the trees are going to be you know, you're going to want to be, oh, it looks like we got wind now. So I have 176 charcoal. All right, so I am going to make steel, which is just a continual task until it's done, and lanterns, and fix up the farm. So in fixing up the farm, maybe we incorporate some LED windows, or maybe we'll reserve all the LED windows for our kitchen. But I could use regular plain glass slabs to add some additional windows in if we want, because I'm not too worried about the crops getting too cold and dying. Like, some of them are already dying, but I don't really care if the crops die off right now. Will I have steel to make a steel plate? I'm not planning on making steel plate, so. I explained this last stream, but plate armor has a lot of penalties that I don't want to deal with. So if you take a look at plate armor, the healing effectiveness for each piece of plate is minus 33%. Doing very simple napkin math, or math in your head, if you wear full plate armor, you can't heal. Bandaging won't work. So it makes you the tankiest, but it also makes it so that you move insanely slow and you can't heal. So you tank amazing, but you can't get away from enemies and you can't heal yourself. So, in my opinion, plate armor is a bit of like a deathly gamble where you're just hoping that that you kill the thing you're trying to fight, because if you can't, there is no escape. You know, I would much rather be able to actually heal myself or run away from a fight rather than tank a little bit better. So there's other types of armors that we could consider. So here's one that, you know, does not have such high walk speed penalties that that would add a considerable amount of protection without the whole you're not moving an inch and you can't heal at all, right? Because the healing effectiveness adding up still allows for healing. Granted, the healing's not great, but it's greater than 0. There's also chain. So steel chain armor, same sort of deal. And then scale. So likely I would probably pick between chain is the cheapest. Chain is essentially, the scale armor is essentially just chain armor with scales added to it. So scale armor is rather expensive, and then I'll go back to the brig. The brig armor is just plates and leather. And then the chain armor. I wish there was like I didn't have to keep handbooking this. Chain armor, as you can see, is just straight chain. So probably you either go with brig or you go with chain, maybe to scale. But I would, and the other thing about the steel plate, if you take a look at the materials, the steel plate is chain armor plus extra plates, so it's just very, very steel expensive. It would require multiple runs of the refractory, so that's a lot of invested time. And it's a lot of invested time for armor that you can't run in and you can't heal in. So maybe it's good armor for multiplayer. Because if you're low on health, another player can kind of jump in and like save you. But on single player, it's a little sketchy to use. Just in my opinion. But if you like it, cool, go for it. So, 10 glass, and I'm going to need to make some more candles, I think. Does it have disadvantages only if you wear the helmet? So the way the armor works in this game is that, I don't even have enough wax for all the candles, so I'll be making 4 lanterns, yeah, I'll just make 4 lanterns. There's not positional damage so much as it is chance. So the way it works is 10% of the hits go to your head, 50% to your chest, and 40% to your legs. So sure, you can just wear a plate helmet, but it's only going to help you 10% of the time. The other 90% of the time, you're going to get whacked somewhere where your steel helmet is not helpful. So with these extra lanterns, I can illuminate the top. That lantern there probably illuminates, because I don't have scaffolding yet, it probably illuminates this area just fine, keeping drifters from spawning up here. And then I want one more lantern maybe placed there or something, just to make sure it's like light enough that enemies steer clear. So I would say if you don't want full plate, you're best off having plate chest and like running the risk of not running, having a lesser helmet or something like that, because your chest gets hit the most, your legs get hit the second most. Something along those lines. It looks a little weird, but it actually might not be illuminated here enough. Luckily, I'm making extra lanterns. We do have some rift nearby. It is a medium rift activity. So I'm not like a veteran of like late game combat in Vintage Story. I do think that a lot of players, the general consensus is the Brig armor, I think, is what I see a lot of people say for steel, because it gives you protection tier 4 with a decent flat reduction bonus, but it's not so costly. It's the cheapest like steel armor that you can make. Whereas if you go chain, the percent protection is 86%. The chain requires more materials. Hunger, so it's one of those, like, I don't know, we'll really have to consider a whole bunch of factors, but then another thing that I see done often is going non-metal armor for everyday use. Going gamma synths. Or tailored. I mean, it depends on who's making it. Because these give protection tiers with very minimal walk speed, and hunger rate penalties. Where currently what I'm wearing now has, it doesn't really allow me to accurately use ranged weapons. It has a ranged weapon accuracy and charge time modifiers that are kind of negative. So if you want to use ranged weapons, you're really going to need something that without ranged weapon penalties. But this costs so much linen, which is why I didn't do it, because I knew my linen was going to go into the windmill. But that's another thing that a lot of players will do is they'll rock, for when they're not going somewhere dangerous, they'll just rock tier 2 cloth armor to keep them protected, to move fast, to not get too hungry, and to be able to use ranged weapons, because I simply can't. I mean, I can, but it's really inaccurate. So I have a spare lantern here. Oh, I have drifters outside. Hello, little drifter. I was going to stick this lantern here, because at some point that might become a kitchen if it gets voted on. And we're making the last plate now, and then I'll go to sleep to accelerate the steel making time. Oh no! Wind! Don't do this to me! So we are at 41%. Might as well top up the charcoal too. So once I have more beeswax, I can make another lantern if I want. That's what that's for. It is nighttime, so we can move the steel clock ahead. It's really convenient to have the aged wooden bed. So we're at about 50% now. Good evening, Whammy. Welcome to the stream. Ooh, must have gotten really cold. All right. So, current priority is fixing up the farms. I'm going to give it a little bit of remodeling. There's one thing I want to do first, which is to make the leaded windows. Or if I need more walnut. For no. And then to cut the remaining glass for panes. So here's the leaded glass panes made of walnut for our kitchen. And I am not going to make you wait. I'm going to place them down now. At what? To 12? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is not where the kitchen is. At some point we'll do a kitchen remodeling. I just wanted to place down them anyway. Just so that you could see, because I've been talking them up, and maybe y'all disagree with me, but I think they're pretty. That's what they look like. I think they're nice. And I kind of like the walnut feel. It matches the sort of lead color, I guess. So, fixing up our farms. I should probably get rid of the health hammer because it's pounding away, drilling holes in my brain. Colored glass would look nice, but I don't have the gemstones for it. Oh, it's like super windy right now. So this thing is going crazy. Where was this wind a minute ago when I was making lanterns? I'm hammering out my iron. If I was trying to be economical, now would be the time to run iron blooms, but like, I ain't got time for that. I got other projects. So let's cut some of the glass. I might want to leave some full block glass if I want more leaded windows at some point. So I'll leave 12. I think that's a pretty decent amount of full cubes. Put those away so I don't use them. Yeah, I do have some gemstones, but not enough to really make a run of glass out of. Here, this is my gem box. So I have like an emerald and a diamond. It's not enough. If I did a lot of caving and I did a lot of spelunking and I found ample amounts of gemstones, then I could make colored glass. And the there's different colored glass for these glasses, but not for leaded panes. The leaded panes are always clear glass, as far as I know. But like pink glass requires rose quartz, and smoky glass requires smoky quartz, and vintage glass, well, that's different. Brown glass is purchased. Vintage glass is, I don't even know. Yellow is purchased. Red purchased. Violet would be amethyst. Blue is purchased, and green is olivine. But like, if you're, I mean, come on now, like, you're gonna make refractory bricks out of that, so you're probably not making green glass unless it's a big flex. All right, so there's other things that I wanted to do to rework this. Another one is I wanted a bigger staircase so I don't get stuck on stuff, because that's been a pain point for me. So I am going to move this box over one and have a wider staircase so I'm not constantly annoyed by hitting the doors, which also means I need another door. I'm just going to put the rack there for now. So this is going to get knocked out. And as a result of that, like, all right, there's a little bit of dying crops in here, but I don't care about killing the rest of the crops by removing this as greenhouse. It doesn't matter to me because these crops are like on borrowed time anyway. All right, these can be soil or pathing. There. So that will be stairs, and then this will go back to being a pillar. So once I redo the doors so they're wider and I don't like bump into stuff constantly, I will add windows around the edges and then replace all of the soil in the farm that I can with terra preta, making as much terra preta as I have available to me. Because I have a lot of compost. This compost still needs more time, but I have a lot of compost, or well, not tons, but some compost that I can turn into terra preta. So we're also going to want more doors. I think there were pine doors up there. I'm just going to assume they were, because most of my doors have been pine. Why don't I have an axe on me at all times? I put it away because I was chopping up firewood and I didn't want my nice axe to be used for firewood. That's why. Because once you use up a flint axe, it will like just pick a random axe but to use next. And often that random axe is not one that you want being used. Okay, so now we have a wider stairwell, which I won't trip on. I'm not even going to worry about the crops so much. Let me do the windows first. I just get some turnips. And I don't have room for it. Hey, guess what, Mushroom? You're officially a meat now, as far as I'm concerned. So I wanted a lot more windows in here, just to make it look nicer. So I think the best way to approach this is to use... So I have about, let's say, 45 more window blocks that I could put down. Now, one big advantage would be a much nicer, larger window here, so that I can see into my farms. That comes at a big benefit. Because now I can peek in, and it's an expansive view, let's say. Oh, I think mushrooms will... I mean, I've had a lot of portobello burgers in my life. Telling the mushrooms that they're now officially a meat, I don't think offends the mushroom. Alright, so that part's done. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, which originally streamed live on Twitch, February 15th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind that for this series I've asked for no backseating, so if you could respect that, that would be great. If you would like to join a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs.